Yeah.
Yep. I think last time started with 1 minute before a noise was coming from the east. Some people were preparing, doing other stuff. It came through initially the form of screams, and as we saw, men in white were running for their lives, just sprinting straight at us, pretty carelessly. Any of the ones that, whatever, I forget if we even attacked any of them or if we let them come or something. I think we just let them, run north of
Yeah, the
the
ones that were being
village.
chased by the ape, I think there were three of them.
Yeah.
And we sent that one guy with them as well. The one who was in the cage.
Yeah, the prisoner guy.
Yeah, that's right. And he seemed to have a bit of a change of attitude too.
Yeah, he, right, so the fight happened and stuff, and then I think, Radair and Mo went north to go, see if they were up there, and, that guy was, on his knees or whatever, and then tore off his, the patch to Pelor, and, of course, before that, after the fight with the White Terror Ape, there was discussion with it. Yeah, Small Leaf basically, just got the ability that monks have. And Brandon and I were talking about this earlier where, I guess basically none of us have really seen Small Leaf, ever, do that before. So it's just did you know monkey this whole time or whatever? Did you know monkey language? Yeah, so talked, and the ape told us a lot of information, probably, doubled our information about the island, and most specifically, kind of what the men in white were doing.
No, sorry, just I was reading in the chat, and I just realized how I said could be taken totally wrong.
True, because yeah,
chat's like we can hear you, and everybody's like, what?
Yeah, because I think in Discord, people see the notification thing and they don't know where it comes from, so they go to the inbox thing on the top right. Yeah, and all they see is "we can hear you."
So ominous.
Yeah, and they're like, "Who's siege? Are you sieging my house?
Are you sieging my? There's the front door.
We can hear you.
I am under siege.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so talking with the ape, learned about what the men in white were doing, possibly doing experiments and stuff like that on local animals, keeping them in cages and stuff like that. The ape, the ape described kind of, some of them, I'll just use the word people, but, some animals died, through the experiments. They would morph into things that just couldn't survive, but sometimes something would happen, like what happened with him, where they just get in this enhanced state, this just the terror state, as I'll call it, where he's just bigger and more aggressive and stuff. And he said that he felt like a prisoner in his own body type thing, he wasn't really running the controls. And they brought him over here. I guess, he doesn't know why he wasn't really in control of himself then, but basically probably to just attack the natives, unleash him on the natives, but kind of backfired a little bit as some broke off to fight and do other stuff. And then, right, so then Mo, Radair, and the the prisoner man in white of the village, like the one that Aya said was like a teacher or whatever, came over to the 2 that were unconscious, that Radair knocked out. All the natives are still within the fort. I don't know if we've really given them the clear go-ahead, because I guess we don't know ourselves that, like, the assault is over, but they're all in there. Alicia offered the ape food and stuff. The ape is, of course, right now eating huge sea turtle meat. And Alicia was going to go inside of the big tent. And I guess based on proximity, Small Leaf was going with her. So I think that was kind of the leave off. I guess we can start with Radair.
Mm-hmm. Interrogating the
Yep.
prisoners.
Yeah, so
Okay.
not that it's like particularly noted, but we could say that in this particular area there's a lot of excess like plant mash and stuff like that from making the alcohol, so this area is kind of like has that fermented, the fruity smell, stuff like that. Not that it's really like bothersome, but just kind of give an idea of this kind of certain surroundings. So we zoom in on Radair. What would you like to do? Both of them are still unconscious. One of them you can tell is dressed in the kind of, one's more of like a combat and the other's kind of just like more robes, like the scholar look and stuff like that. I think I'm going to pull it up now. The fighter, has a club. And I'll just call it priest. I mean, I guess you guys can see the name tags. Yeah, and then the priest has a mace. So, all blunt weapons.
Okay. Let me see here. Yeah, I get, and they're both still unconscious.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Radair is going to... I guess he's going to try to... Well, he's going to make sure that they're firmly tied. He's going to, like, kind of move them and, like, tie them to a tree, retie them.
Right.
Maybe to separate trees away from each other.
Okay.
So, wherever that makes sense to put them. Just to make sure that they don't get up and walk, because he tied him up kind of hastily before.
Yeah.
So he'll do that.
Well,
and
I'll say, Mo will take the priest.
Okay.
Mo's like, I'll take this one, like clearly the weaker one.
Yeah, the one that's not in armor and heavy armor. Yeah. So I guess once Radair makes sure that the Pelor fighter is tied up, he's gonna let Mo know, like, hey, let's interrogate these guys one at a time.
Yeah. So one note, the priest looks like he's just wearing simple robes, and the fighter just looks like he's wearing like padded armor. So he's not even wearing like heavy armor.
Okay.
Yeah. So just meta speak, both of their ACs are very low. Or
regardless.
Very standard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so there's like, well, I guess it doesn't really matter which one we interrogate first, so why don't we start with the fighter over here. So Radair's gonna try to find like some water or something and like, splash it in the guy's face to wake him up.
Yeah, there's probably just...
Or some of the juice from
exactly. From the celebration and stuff, there is probably a like clay cup of alcohol somewhere nearby.
Yeah.
Roll for splashing. No.
Splash damage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so you splash it on the fighter, and nothing seems to happen.
He's still, like, unconscious or out of it.
Yep. I guess one note, Alicia and Smallleaf, you guys are, like, definitely gonna go in the tent. There wasn't any, like, maybe little mini thing you wanted to do before that. I just wanted to kind of pause you guys since that's gonna be, like, talking too, so it's like...
Nope, that's basically Alicia's plan.
Yeah, it was to go in there, okay.
Yep.
And Tim, you too, or do you think it was Smallleaf was, like, walking that direction to do something else?
I really don't remember what I had Smallleaf doing last.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he'll go in the tent with Alicia.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. I just wanted to make sure. Yep. So
In
Rodaris...
case somebody needs punched through the wall.
Right. Not that these are thick walls, but... Yep.
Okay, so, yeah, seeing as that doesn't work, Rodair's gonna try to, you know, shake him, try to get him to wake up.
Yep. Yeah, so shaking him does seem to, waken him a little bit. You know, he kind of puts his hand to his head. You know, he's, like, got... whatever. I assume that's, you know, it's like you knocked him out, basically. He's just like,
Yeah.
ugh.
So I guess, seeing as he's kind of maybe starting to come through, Rodair's just going to use 1 point of lay on hands to heal him a hit point. You know, just metagame terms, he might be at 0 hit points.
Yes,
and,
he...
You know.
Yep,
Yeah,
I was
'cause I
gonna
guess
say,
he
yeah,
drops.
both of them were, so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
So
point.
he'll use one hit point of lay on hands just
Okay.
to get him, you know, up from 0 hit points.
Yep.
And
So,
enough to kind of get him like, okay, he's not, you know, not enough to really make him deadly and heal him
Yeah.
all the way, but
no, he gets his full round action, and he action surges and hastes, sprints away.
But yeah, so
Yeah, so he just is, you know, rubbing his head, and
yeah, yeah. So Rodair's just gonna kind of, you know, maybe like sit or kind of squat down near him and just say, take your time to come to your senses. Do you need something to drink?
yeah, he, you know, I guess maybe he was laying over, and now he sits up, hand still on his head, and yeah, and then he just kind of, like, looks at you, and, like, now you can kind of tell that, like, the clarity is coming back in his eyes, and he, like, backs up, like, you know, like, or
Yeah,
like he backs up like 2 inches. Like,
into the tree.
yeah,
that
just like a little like scurry. Yeah. Oh, I guess you tied him up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that. So I guess he was already sitting up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess then, yeah. So he like snaps to attention, you know, against the tree, and is looking at you, and it looks like he completely missed everything that you just said.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rodair, you know, just reiterates and says, "Look, relax. If you cooperate, this will go easier for both of us."
He's trying
You
to
need-
break out of the binds. Like you could tell him like he's flexing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Let's see. Rodair is just gonna say, "Whoa, hold on. You better stop doing that. Because if you try to break free, I'm warning you, you're not gonna like it."
Yeah, he's looking around now. He's like looking at, you know, the surroundings.
So, care to tell me why priests of Pelor are attacked or have attacked this village?
He seems to not be paying attention to you at all. He just seems to be looking at this guy, like the other man in white. That's not the priest.
Let's see. Rodair's gonna turn to the other guy and say, "Do you know who this man is? Anything about him?"
Like, turning to this guy?
Turning to the other guy, yeah.
Yeah. He's just like... I don't know his name per se, but he's just one of the mercenaries that were hired before we came here.
Yeah. So, let's see. So, Radair's going to kind of, again, squat down in front of the guy, and I assume he's still trying to break free.
After he was looking around at the surroundings and stuff, he kind of stopped that, and then he just kind of seems to be like breathing heavily, you know, kind of like that GIF that I sent. He's just doing that and staring at the guy like that. Like,
yeah.
Just kind of looks like he's pissed off towards him.
Yeah. So Radair's going to kind of glance back and forth between the two of them and says, so you seem kind of angry at your friend there.
He's not my friend.
Really? Why is that? You both are priests of Pelor, right?
Huh.
Huh, and?
He's a traitor.
Traitor? What did he do?
He doesn't, he's like still not really focused on you, and he just says, to the other guy, you told him, didn't you? You ruined everything.
Radair's gonna look back at the other priest and...
Yeah, the other guy's just kind of...
about?
Yeah, he's just kind of, like, standing there, with his arms crossed, kind of, like, giving him basically, like, the same appearance. And maybe, roll a insight.
Okay.
Yeah, you detect that he's like has like a little bit of a smile on his face.
He who? Which one of them?
This guy back here.
Okay. Yeah, he's kind of grinning. Okay.
Yeah, like, you know, he's like, oh, you told them, didn't you? And you look back at him, yeah, and you see that he's standing there, cross arms, kind of staring back at him too, but you can tell that there's like a little bit of a smirk in there.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess, there's like, yeah, now, he certainly did tell us. So, what's that mean to you? 'Cause he might have not told us everything. But I am curious to know more, because there's definitely a lot weird going on around here. And I'm still not entirely sure whose side I should be on. Maybe, you could convince me if I just knew a little bit more about what was going on here. I'm going to do a deception on that.
Okay.
Because I don't really have intentions of siding with him.
Yeah. I guess what would,
Probably insight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess I actually do have a sheet for him. Where is it? Insight. He has no bonus, so that is wisdom.
Yeah.
13. He's like, you're a filthy liar! No, here. Yeah, he says, all I know is I was given a job to come here and clean up some island filth.
Island filth? You perhaps referring to the villagers, the natives here?
Yeah.
Really?
Almost don't even need to pay me to kill them.
Really? Island filth, that That seems very atypical for someone who follows Pelor. I thought the sun god was supposed to be a good god who wouldn't go around authorizing the killing of anyone. Well, except for evildoers. Do you consider what the natives were doing evil?
I don't follow Pelor. Are you kidding me?
Well, isn't that what your insignia is on your robes?
Yeah,
Or you're just hired?
This is the uniform they gave me, sure.
Oh, I see. Rider's gonna turn to the other priest and say, "Yeah, I don't know. This guy seems to be just a hired hand. Doesn't actually follow Pelor, but so."
Yeah, and then he'll say, yeah, you'll find that most of the brutish types are like that.
I see. Well, I think we've ran out of use for you, my hired hand friend. Let's see, what can we do with you? I'll figure that out later. And Ritter's just gonna like conk him over the head with the hilt of his sword, knock him out.
Yeah, there's no rolls needed for that.
Yeah.
Low-level
I want to
fighter
roll and see how much damage I actually do with it, though.
Yes.
I crit him.
Yeah. Yeah,
You're it's like minimal damage too.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I use one of my smites.
I was I really wanted to release him and then do compelled duel.
Yeah.
But Raider's contemplating that, but he's like, nah, there'll be another time.
Yeah,
like,
where's the honor?
He actually started to talk, so.
Yeah, where's the honor in fighting a 1
Yeah.
HP guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Raider's just gonna do that and then come over here.
Yep.
And say, well, he's gonna just relay to Mo and say, well, Mo, that fighter wasn't the most helpful, but it does seem like we are dealing with people who don't necessarily follow Pelor.
Right.
Or at least a portion of them don't.
Yeah, and he says, yeah, Mo's like, yeah, to be honest, most of these religious types kind of seem to be like that to me. And he says, honestly, he's like, the first, like, apparently, like, truly faithful person he's ever met was Alicia. He was like, she's if she's lying, she's holding it up pretty well. He's like, I haven't been able to detect, like, she's been keeping up her lie for the longest time.
Yeah, Raider just kind of nods and says, yeah, for as long as we've been working together, she seems very sincere. And Raider turning to the other priest and says, and for the little time that I've known you compared to the time that I've known these other priests, I'd say you're definitely on the up and up, because you've actually shown that you care about the villagers here and trying to help, unlike these ones.
Yeah, he says, yeah, he was like, yeah, a lot of the, the brutish types, the mercenaries, obviously were just hired for money purposes. Of course, yeah, you'll get all sorts of types whenever you just hire, when the only requirement is a paycheck. But he said that he was one of the few that like actually cared like about just being an educator, and he was like, I took pride in it, because he said, as evidenced by Aya, he's like, she was making great strides towards learning Common, and then, I guess I got kind of like lost in my work here, and
Yeah, we're just gonna be like, well, don't sweat it. You've definitely been doing the right thing.
Right.
Let's see if we can maybe see what this one here has to say and see if we can't learn anything more.
Yep. So
I have a
I'll
feeling
pause
we're
it.
gonna need to. There's more to come, and we're gonna have to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
let's see here.
I'll pause what we're doing here and then go over to
Yeah.
Alicia and Smallleaf.
I'm gonna have Radair while you're doing that. I'm gonna be converting some spell slots into sorcery points and then converting them back into higher level spell slots.
I'm
Because
gonna be
I
doing
have
alchemy.
I used like all my high level ones, but I
Yeah.
have a ton of low levels, so I'm just gonna take care of that. And while you're doing that, so
Yep. I'll say that Mo, yeah, like before we transition off, like as Radair comes over here to the priest, Mo's like, I searched the priest. He just had a mace on him and like 3 days worth of rations.
not much.
But yeah, so that's, Mo's like, I searched him. He had no money on him, and if he did, he now has no money on him. Yeah, so going over to Alicia and Smallleaf. The last thing was, yeah, feeding the ape, and coming over here, and I guess before going in, you just wanted to go into the tent. Like, do you have like an intent? Like,
Didn't.
yeah. Like, I forget if you said, like, you just wanted to talk to the elders to see, like, what the hell is going on, or...
I forget if Alicia was going to go in to check on the elders, or if she was going to go in because she noticed, like, a similarity between, like, the elders' eyes and, like, the monkeys.
Yep.
I don't think that she knows that they're undead. I don't know if that was ever, like... I don't think anybody told Alicia, so she doesn't know that, but...
Right. I forget if Radair... If he only told that to Mo, because I think Mo is the one that suggested to Radair to do it, so I don't know if it was like a whisper between them or something, but yeah, it's a good point.
What was it? I
when
missed the
when
part.
Radair did the Paladin Evil search on the Elders, you discovered that they were technically classified as undead, and I think that was just a whisper between Mo and Radair, but
I want to say... I think I might have told the group at one point.
Yeah, like after they left or something. I don't know. So yeah, Alicia. I'll just say that Alicia does know that.
Okay.
Because whatever, more information, the better.
Yeah.
So, if Alicia and Smallleaf as well, I guess, enter the tent, is there anything that we see that's like different? Like, what are the elders doing, and like, are the veterans like? What are they doing?
So as you go to enter the tent, it's almost like you walk into like a little bit of an invisible wall. Like you can part the curtain, but then like, you either walk into it or whatever, and you hit this, and you see one of the veterans there is at the entrance, and he's like, "Who goes there?" And I forget if Alicia has any light on her or not. Probably like the sword or something.
Sunblade, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the veteran, of course, he says it in halfling language, so Smallleaf, you understand that, he just says, like, "Who goes there?" But then, obviously the veteran sees that, with the light and everything and parting, like, the doorway and stuff. So yeah, like, Alicia, you see him, and he turns back and says something in their language. Smallleaf, you understand it to be... basically like it's the I'm trying to remember what they called you, like the savior. It was the savior. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Or was it something to do with a warrior? I don't remember.
You're the last warrior.
Yeah, you're the last warrior, and then Alicia was like the savior or whatever. Because after the... I forget exactly when. I think it was on the beach where that happened or something. Because of, like, your eyes or your wings or the healing ability or something like that. But, yeah, regardless. Yeah, the veteran says something along the lines of savior. And Alicia, you recognize that word because you heard it from all the warriors and stuff before.
Right.
So and then you see one of the elders, who both of them seem to be in kind of like a trance. They're just, like, sitting on like a rug, like in the center back, of the tent or whatever. one with the staff like looks up, like seems to kind of like come out of the trance, and what is your Arcana? Either roll an Arcana or a Perception, whichever you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So you detect like a faint kind of like a blur happen in front of you, like in the doorway, and that little blur kind of like shuts off, like it kind of pulses with that blur, and you think that the ward or whatever is now gone. Like
Okay.
some magic happened or whatever. But yeah.
Right. So I guess Alicia will like walk in
Yep.
and
You're blocked by a second one. You're like,
yeah,
God damn it!
I walk directly into it.
Yeah. Boosh! And you're like, you said, and he's like, oh, not yet. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you speak English? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I have this whole time.
I guess yeah, Alicia would walk in and like approach the one with the staff and maybe say we fended off the men in white. A lot of the villagers are safe, but then kind of like look down and just like close their eyes, like, but we couldn't save everybody.
Yeah, so they like, it seems like most of the veterans. So first I'll say, and Smallleaf, I assume you go in as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just move you in, like, right there. Yeah, so as you go in, the layout of this place seems like actually pretty similar to the shaman hut, where they have, like herbs hanging from kind of like the bamboo rafters and stuff like that. There doesn't seem to be too much here. There's like a lot of, like, urns and rugs. Like the entire floor of this place is like carpeted. Not like shaggy carpet or anything, but like rugs, basically. Like, there's not a dirt floor in here. Yeah, and there's not too much else like of note, but just, it's, if you peeked inside any of the other tents, like, they were pretty plain. This place is like clearly like lit and colorful and stuff like that. Yeah, so you say all of that, and there's bit. Here, let me move them to like more. I have to use the alt thing. Yeah, so they. Let me move that guy too. Move that guy. I'll just move some there. So the non-staff one, the one in the red, now kind of breaks out of the trance and says, I know some of the tongue. And he says that in common. Come and sit down. And just gestures like vaguely in front of them.
Is that like to both of us or to small? Like,
Yeah, right. Just kind of, it's hard to tell. Like, he seems like pretty, he has like the mask on and stuff like that. But it's, yeah, you think it's both of you. Like the way that he gestures his hand.
Alicia sits.
Yeah. Smallleaf, do you sit?
No.
Okay. He stares at you, Alicia, and says, Savior, you are called. Speak again.
I guess Alicia would maybe reiterate what she said before, that we defeated the men in white and tried to save as many villagers as we could, but some didn't make it.
Such is life. Sad on this day of days.
You see, like, bows her head, like, in agreement.
Yeah.
Um,
You, he points at Smallleaf now. You, last warrior. How many white men you kill? Does Smallleaf say anything?
No.
try to
No. He looks at you, Alicia, and he says, "Last warrior, no tongue."
last warrior a few words. Many punches, but few words.
Yeah, he nods. He seems to understand, and he says, "Better this way." He looks over at the woman, like, elder with who has, like, kind of the staff, and says something to her. It's in their language, basically. Smallleaf, you understand that he is asking her to basically get a feeling about you, but the way that he words it, you believe that, like, not to say that they have magic per se, but you believe that that's how they're going to accomplish it, or how she's going to do it. Yeah, that type of thing. So he, it's like, find out about him, but not, like, asking him. Like, just, use the voodoo. So she, kind of, it's not really, like, so much like as a gesture, but she just seemed, you notice, I guess, just, like, through passive insight that, and obviously hearing it, that she is kind of facing you more, but you don't feel weird, you don't hear her saying anything, anything like that. She just seems to be kind of, like, staring
It's
at you.
divine sense.
Right.
Like that.
The elder, the male, the eldest, looks at, only because he's a man, and because only men should ever lead. Just have to make that clear.
Fireball.
Yeah.
Right at my feet.
Yeah. He, looks at Alicia again and says, "Ask." Sense great trouble.
Did I miss something? What does he want me to ask?
Trouble, apparently.
You could roll, I guess, like, an insight.
Woo.
19. You think he means that he wants you to ask him a question.
Oh, okay.
I guess with a 19, basically he just said, like, ask him any question. He senses that you have, like, confusion in your head and stuff, like, that you clearly might have a question for him or for them.
Right.
that type of thing.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure how Alicia would phrase it with trying to be like tactful, but maybe she would be like, point like
Are you undead?
essentially like your
So blunt.
your maybe like your eyes look the same as like the undead beast. How did you become undead
He's
or
nodding.
something similar? Like
Yeah.
how did you become this way basically?
Yeah, he's nodding. Yep. And he says, all elders this way. Wait, could you repeat what you said again? I want to make sure I don't like say something off topic. Did you said basically how are you undead or something? Like you're
Yeah, like how did you get this way?
okay, yeah. I wanted to make sure that you didn't bring up the ape because I was going to talk about that. But I was like, oh wait.
Well,
I
yeah,
didn't,
I
I
don't know.
didn't really say that. Yeah, like it has like you have eyes like the undead beast.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna
How-
say. I was like, wait. How did I get the ape in my head? Yeah. So
Yeah.
he says, all elders this way. When final rest, we live again. Then only be elder. This way forever. Ape, not know why. Ape, not elder. Concern. Unnatural.
I guess Alicia would like nod her head as he's talking and say like like well we plan to put a stop to whatever the men in white are doing and rid your island of their fake sun worship or their worship of the fake sun god or something like
Fake
that.
sun worship.
Yeah, he nods and says, white men powerful in spear only. And then he points like to his head and says, not powerful. Ape powerful and like in arm, like he points obviously like to his bicep or whatever, and he says and powerful and points to his head.
I guess then Alicia would ask something like so the apes that also live on this island, they're smart, like they're all smart.
Ape steal elder. Ape become smart. Ape take home. And he points to himself now, like Ape take home, like our home. And this is something that we had heard before, obviously they got pushed out of their original home on the, I'll call it the north end of the island, when the apes, started going bananas.
They had to split.
Yep.
Alicia would ask then, the elder power that the ape had, is that power from home or from men in white? basically, does he think that they like the apes like learned that power from their old village, or like because right now she's thinking it was inflicted upon the ape, but that might not be the case.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. He says, white men find elder... I'm trying to think of what word he would use here. Because I don't know if he would know the word ritual, but that's basically what I want to get across. I'll just say with your...
Technically, they're like... Their box, like, panther things, technically like a ritual.
Their what?
Like, when they have their warriors fight, like, the panther or whatever, technically that's like a ritual.
Yeah, right. So, it would be... And that's actually... that, like, if they had a word for coming of age, there was also kind of like a dance or the coming of age, but to be an elder. So basically, however he says it, I'll just kind of like gloss over it, but basically he conveys to you that he thinks that the men in white discovered that ritual and they're doing it to the apes, and that's how the apes overthrow. So yeah, he basically blames the men in white for doing it, but he thinks that he doesn't think that it's just that. Like he thinks, yeah, I don't know. It's like kind of like a lot, but basically he thinks that the men in white defiled their ancestors somehow and possessed the apes with like that elder knowledge, and that's what's making like the apes go like, that's what's making the apes act like how they are. So basically it's like the men in white are most likely the root cause, but he's more concerned about the fact that the apes have like the angry elder spirits in them than he is about the men in white. But he thinks that the men in white are obviously very bad. Right. So however he does that, he conveys that to you. Because it saves me from having to frickin' talk like that the whole time. That's the sense that you get.
So sensing that very pointedly.
Yes, very exactly.
Alicia would ask, like how to stop. Is there a way to stop the angry elder spirits?
Kill again.
Redair's like, I can do that.
Yeah, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Howdy, folks!
You just hear that outside the tent.
Yeah. I heard about killing?
From across the village. Won't be a problem.
Redair comes running. I heard murder! Like, Jesus Christ, calm down.
Yeah. He, roll a d20.
Oh, Jesus.
Roll it again, that's too close. I want decisiveness.
It's 250.
Damn it.
That's what the die says.
Yeah. 9, okay. So he'll say this. Elders live forever, or like whatever, live many lives until they go insane. Basically, he tells you that. So until they go insane, and then the people rise up against the elders, and then new elders are selected. He conveys that to you. So he said that is like part of the process, and since that's part of the process, that's also something that's probably not going to be followed. So the fact that the apes have it is like they're not supposed to be elders, and they're not going to follow like the tradition. So since they don't know like how to be elders, they're gonna go insane, and then it gets really bad. Like there's nobody to correct them. Like they need to be corrected, basically.
Right.
In that they basically just need to be killed. Like.
Alicia will convey that we will go to their old village and basically kill again monkey elders, basically.
He
You betcha we'll do that.
Yeah,
Redair
right.
shouts
Yeah,
across
right?
the
Again.
How did you hear?
We'll kill them all. Yeah, the elder says, hopeful. Yeah, I was gonna say hopeful, but not likely. But yeah, I don't know. He conveys to you that, he wishes you the best. Good luck, have fun.
We sure will.
Yeah. Thanks.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not even in this scene. Get out of here.
Yeah, he... In fact, roll insight as well. And don't roll a 9. Yeah. Yeah. When he says... Whatever he says, in the form of, good luck, have fun, he seems sad when he says that.
I think Alicia will nod and, maybe like thank him for answering the questions and get up and start to join the, rest of the group.
Right. As you get up, the other elder, who has been staring at Smallleaf, basically just says, "Okay." And then the other elder is like, nods, looking at her, and says, "As warning, first deal with white men, then come back. Then we all go for home."
Okay. Yeah. Alicia nods and says, "We will deal with the fake sun people and come back."
Yep, he does not say anything else.
So, yep. If no other interruptions, Alicia is gonna come back over to the rest of the group and join.
Yep.
That.
Smalley, for you leaving as well, or is there something that you would like to say?
No. Smallleaf will... I guess I'll bow and then leave.
Okay. Yeah, as you bow, both of the elders nod as well. And, as you're leaving, the veteran that's by the doorway just kind of, smiles at you and, nods, hey, buddy. I would say that, I guess just with, passive insight, Alicia, you noticed that, all the veterans and stuff were, the whole time in there, they had their heads kind of down, and even as you were leaving, the guy did not look at you. He had his head down.
Okay, interesting.
Yep.
Not look at Alicia, or not look at us in general.
Not look at. Well, not look at you guys in general.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess from Alicia's experience, that could have just been what they were doing anyway. So, but Smallleaf would notice that that veteran looked up to, like, smile at him and stuff. But,
Right.
yeah. So, as Radair is doing his alchemization of spell slots and stuff, Alicia and Smallleaf walk over, and yeah, you guys see that the teacher, man in white, the prisoner person, is just standing here. Both of the unconscious people are tied up to trees, and I would say there's not too much other details beyond that, except they look, obviously, like they were in combat recently, so they have wounds and stuff. So,
Radair
yep.
turns and just, noticing them approaching, says, "Ah, you're here. We were just about to interrogate this other priest. We found out from the other one that he was apparently a hired hand and didn't actually worship Pelor. He was just hired by whoever the main group is. But I'm getting the suspicion that, well, we know at least part of the group doesn't worship Pelor, but I'm getting the suspicion that probably the larger group, or whoever the ringleader is, probably doesn't actually worship Pelor either. Either way, they're not in good standing."
Oh yeah, I guess I could put the unconscious symbol on that guy.
Alicia has a disgusted look on her face.
Yeah. Gross.
How dare they?
Yeah, so I guess actually at this point, Alicia, you would notice that the prisoner guy, his Pelor patch is ripped off, like the sun. So his
Right.
Yep. So that is missing. And,
Yep, and
his attention is just focused on Radair.
yeah, and he's with us now. He's definitely good with us. Did we ever hear his name?
I think I might have said his name like a long time ago, but I was just gonna say if you guys wanted to call him Ethan, that could be his name.
Okay.
So I could write that.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll just say we exchanged names, as we're doing this. So, yeah, Ethan is definitely on the right side now. Definitely on the right side. So,
Alicia would nod and say that we learned some information from the elders, but we can talk about that after you're done with your interrogation. Like, basically, Alicia doesn't want to say it in front of like the priest or the fighter there.
yeah. So Radair's going to say, I think most importantly, we need to figure. Well, actually, Radair's going to turn to Ethan and say, Ethan, you know where these guys are based at on the island, right?
I said, yes, I only had to make the journey once, and I was not the guide, but I remember what the location looks like, but not quite how to get there. I know it's on the other side of the mountain.
Ah, okay. So we can probably get to the top of the mountain and then maybe see it from there, perhaps. So we don't necessarily need to figure out where they're located. Radair's going to just ask, is there anything we really need to interrogate this priest for? Or should we just go storm the place?
Mo says, like, I'm going to interrogate this guy's pockets. Comes over to the fighter and just begins searching him.
There's Mo, always stealing everybody's money.
Just taxing him.
Taxing people that we don't even know.
That's how it's done. Faceless.
Taxation without representation.
Damn straight. It's the best way. Most lucrative. So, Radair, I think you posed a question.
Yeah. Is there anything we actually need to learn from this guy, or do we can easily get to their encampment?
Yeah, Mo's just like, I don't know, from a military standpoint, could we get, like, maybe a sense of their numbers or something? Maybe
Yeah.
Smallleaf can talk to the ape more. Like,
Yeah.
the ape kind of made it clear that he knew how to get to their camp, so I guess
Yeah.
if we're taking him, well, I mean, obviously he's going regardless of whether we're going,
Yeah.
but it's like,
I guess there's like, well, yeah, Ethan, what can you tell us? Because maybe that'll lead to some questions we may have.
right, yeah, true, I guess he would know. Yeah, he says, there was, I believe there was more boats scheduled to come before I left. I've been at this village for probably 3 months now.
Yeah, so things might have changed.
Yes, so it's been 3 months since I've been at that camp. I was just part of the first wave, but I believe there was supposed to be, a second and a third. So I can only imagine I wasn't part of those kind of dealings. I know that the later boats were more of mercenaries because there was some issue with hiring them, so they were delayed. So the early ones were kind of the main followers of Pelor.
All right. Good to know. So yeah, let's see if this priest here will be any help. Yeah, Sardar's going to use another point of lay on hands to heal him, and again, kind of maybe shake him a little bit after he heals him a hit point, and
Yep.
try to get him up.
Yep. Yeah. So this, lay on hands, same routine. Slap him in the face. He comes to, and he comes to once he kind of snaps out of it. Then he's just kind of like looking at you, and he like snarls a little bit.
Yeah, right here says, "Oh, come now, be reasonable."
You might as well just kill me.
I mean, that can be arranged. I wouldn't have any qualms about that. But,
He seems to look you up and down, and he says, "Who do you follow?"
who do I follow? He says, well, I guess I'm with Rob and any other just God. You see, I'm a actually, hold on, I have to look up and see if I gave this the name. I'm part of the heroic order. We ally ourselves with any of the just gods, fighting on any of their behalves to make the world a better place and put down evil wherever it is found. Which is why I'm surprised, because you wear the symbol of Pelor. And given what I've seen of you terrorizing and killing these natives, I would say that's outside of what Pelor is all about.
You agree that you want to stomp out evil, then? You said?
That's right.
Well, then untie me and help me finish the job here.
As in slaughtering the natives.
The natives?
Yeah, what is the evil here
The filth?
that you care to be a little bit more detailed? Because I'm not sure what you're talking about.
The things living in these structures here.
Oh. Oh, I get it.
And who did you say that you followed? Who was the first one? Ra?
Yes.
Did I hear that correctly? Ra?
Yeah, that's correct.
Really? He just seems to be laughing to himself.
Alicia's gonna take like 2 like.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on, Alicia. Well, hold on. Radair's going to untie him.
Uh-oh.
Good, I see you've come to your senses.
And then cast Compelled Duel.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
DC 18.
So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Wait, hold on. What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to make a wisdom save. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
so I
he
guess
doesn't
is
have
that yeah, that has verbal, somatic, and material.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you untie him, and then like yeah, as you step away, you say whatever, you're like, yeah. What I don't know, what would you say? I guess you like kind of point at him and say something
Yeah.
about like, Ra
You're the
compels you
evil
to
one
fight.
here who I'm gonna wipe out.
Exactly. I compel you to fight. And he, I guess he kind of just like waves his hand, and like in front of his face, and like as you say that, and he's like,
Yeah.
"You slurred your words a bit there."
Yeah, Radair's like, right, everybody back up. Now.
Yeah, Mo's like, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alicia might like grab Ethan a little bit and be like,
Yeah.
he's about to do something irrational.
I was gonna say if anything, Mo gets like behind the tree that's like that the fighter guy is like
I was like-
tied to.
I'm tired of your evil doing here on this island and slaughtering all these innocent people.
Yeah.
And then Radair's going to cast Fireball centered on himself and catch the other Pelor fighter in the blast.
Right. I was gonna say one thing, like I guess like while you're yelling, after he said, like you slurred your words or whatever, Alicia, you notice that he looks over at you and he's like, haven't you been teaching them properly? Like he's like making fun of you or whatever. Like, but obviously everybody here is mostly Radair. Like, everybody get back! And he's like, he's just laughing to himself. Like, haven't you taught them properly?
And I'm going to empower that.
Okay.
Even though I know they only have 1 hit point, I'm going to slaughter them anyway.
Right.
Radair wants to do this. So let's see. I'm going to re-roll 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So add another. Let's see. That's 11 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So add another 6, and then I actually also have Elemental Affinity, which adds my Charisma mod. Actually, does that apply in this case? The damage bonus applies only to 1 damage roll. Yeah, so actually that's add another 11 to that, so that's 34 damage total. And Radair is in the blast, so he's going to take that damage too, unless he dodges and takes
like,
half damage. So
you roll a reflex save to your own fireball.
yeah. But which I fail, so that's fine. I'll take the 34 damage. But
So
I mean,
Mo's
obviously
like,
whether they
yeah, Mo's
whether
like,
they
oh
pass or
shit!
fail.
He hops around the side of the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, whether they pass or fail or not, I mean they're each at 1 hit point. There's nothing left of them.
Yeah, the Ethan guy is probably gonna back up, and he's like, what? Like, what is he gonna do? Okay, so the last thing that you see of the priest is obviously like him with kind of like an evil stare. Alicia, you're staring at him like in the eyes, I guess, if he was saying that stuff about Ra. After the fireball explosion, he's completely gone. Like, he's just vaporized. And the
other guy.
Yeah, the other fighter is like very burnt. Like, I mean, he's like yeah, he's dead. Like he's dead.
How many hit points did they have? Because I want to know if that like wasn't like enough damage to equal their max.
The priest had a max of 27, but the fighter had 112. So like
okay.
his negative was way lower, but since it's like
Yeah.
an NPC guy, it's like, okay, he's like dead, but there's part of him left there.
Yeah.
The priest is gone. Yeah, the priest is gone.
Oh, yeah, Redair just kind of like, yeah, like scorched himself is like, oh, that, okay, I feel a lot better now.
Right,
I
and
need a new cape now.
yeah, and I would say with that fireball as well, the
That might have been the first fireball Redair. No, Redair's thrown a fireball before.
what technically is the range of that? 20 feet or
Yeah.
something? Okay, I'll say that these 4 closest huts, like, are on fire now.
Redair's like, oh crap.
Yeah, like, you motherfucker! Yeah.
um. Uh. Alicia could.
Redair doesn't have an answer for setting buildings on fire.
Yeah. Most like, yeah, he peeks around the corner of the tree or whatever, and he's like, "Redair, what the fuck did you do?" Like, like notices that the priest isn't even there anymore, and like,
I have
What
no
if-
regret.
yeah.
Well, okay, we better put this fire out.
You're about to say you
before I
have no regrets. Just completely obliterated, man. I have no regrets. Like,
Create,
oh, okay.
Destroy water.
Yeah,
Okay,
10
rain
gallons.
Falls,
Several gallons ought to.
30-foot cube.
Nope, 10 gallons isn't enough.
Well, it has the rain effect too.
That's still not enough.
To put out.
I'm the one who
2 or
says
3
what's enough.
Yeah.
If you cast it, if you have enough spell slots to cast it twice, then yeah, I'll say that you put out the fires. Unless you, I guess if you upcast it to 2nd level or something. You're muted, by the way, Brandon. I don't know if you're talking.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was talking like a lot. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you're like, why are they talking over me? What the fuck?
I was, yeah, I had said I whipped out the, like, I had that since like level 1 and I don't think I've ever used it.
Right.
Yeah, I have a 1st level spell slot and then a bunch of 2nd. So I'll either do, I'll do 1 first and 1 second on it, just to be safe.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. So you create, yeah, like a rainfall and stuff here, which this area is certainly used to that. But yeah, you successfully put out all 4 of the fires and any of the mini fires that were on the surrounding plant life caused by Redair point-blank fireballing. And speaking of water, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back.
In a world where there was like more like banter or whatever, yeah, like the priest is like, oh, aren't you teaching them? And yeah, Redair just like blows him up like
Yep.
nah, I'd say you learned pretty well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, just like the witty action movie like.
Yeah. End scene. It's a good thing I actually, I wouldn't have needed to upcast that to outright kill him. That was just enough. But it was worth upcasting, or not upcasting, but empowering.
Yeah, I mean we gotta stomp these guys out.
Yeah, Redair's pretty much like, okay, he has enough information now that he knows, enough of what's going on. Like, there's no reasoning with them. They're not being mind controlled or anything. They were killing the natives, and now it's time to take out the men in white. And also, if this was like, more witty banter, Redair would be like, yes, let's charge and take them out right after I rest for a bit.
Yeah.
Right after a nap. And then 8 hours, to be precise.
Exactly 8 hours.
Yeah.
Back.
Okay.
Our plan. Don't let them know.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god, I'm stupid. I just realized that entire time I had the every day, I swear to god.
What, your sound?
No, I had OBS looking out on a different scene that was specifically targeting Valheim. So it hasn't been recording the screen this whole time. Luckily, I'm pretty sure it was recording at least sound, but Jesus Christ. Ugh. So that's cool. Every day.
Oh, we gotta redo it, guys.
Every day.
Restart
Yeah.
the
All right.
session.
So, we began with the fireball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty
Every
cool.
day we stray further from Pelor.
Yep. So, pretty cool.
Yeah. So, Radar's just kind of like, well, I guess we can let the natives out and we can take care of things around
Right.
the camp. I'm sure there's lots of
Yep.
mourning to be done. Then.
Yep. Yeah, it's still, like nighttime and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good idea to kind of like, let the natives out, kind of, deal with maybe kind of like cleaning up. There's a lot of dead bodies everywhere, technically, stuff like that. Yep.
Radar, though, says, for the safety of the people, though, we should probably have everyone stay and rest and sleep inside of the tower.
Right, when we're done.
Just in case there's a second attack. There are still the three that got away.
Yeah. Yeah, Mo says that he can go on top of the Elder Hut and maybe, like, take watch of that portion.
Couldn't Mo also stand on the top of the tower as well? The fortress, the Darren's instant fortress.
How tall? I guess, how tall is
It's
it? Like
30 feet high.
Okay. Yeah, so that's taller than, so that is the tallest. So yeah, if anything, Mo's like, oh, okay, like all, that's a good point, I didn't even think about that.
And there's 2 floors and a roof, or like
Exactly.
but technically 3 floors then, ground level, mid, and top.
Yep. Yeah, so, Mo's like, I'll go there, and, like, from there I should be able to see in every direction, so I'll call out if I see anything screwed up. So, Mo heads over there. And I guess because he knows, a little bit of their language, he'll... Like, I don't know what everybody wants to do, but he can be the one that tells them, or at least Aya, to tell them, that it's safe to come out now. All of the immediate threats are kind of taken care of.
Yeah, Radar's just going to, I guess, kind of help the villagers out wherever he can, because I'm sure as they, make their way out and, maybe clear up the bodies of the loved ones and that sort of thing.
Right.
Radar's just going to kind of help with that. Tend to wounds where, with some of his lay on hands where he can, and that sort of thing.
So the natives, like, spell out, and the thing that they seem to be doing, obviously there's, like lots of crying and stuff like that, and babies going wild and stuff like that. They assemble all of the bodies towards the fire that is here. Like, they seem to just be bringing, like, all the bodies towards there. Any of the bodies of the Pelor people, they are amassing up here towards the bridge. Or, I don't know how far you guys are zoomed up, but, like, up here.
Yeah.
They're bringing there. So...
Okay.
Yep.
Alicia's gonna leave like the gathering of the natives to the people, but she's gonna start grabbing like the Pelor people and
Yeah.
like just like dragging them and
And that's
basically
probably what Rodair would do first when he kind of sees that that's what they're starting to do.
Yeah.
But oh, okay. And there's my
Cat.
alarm
Fun.
to give Cat insulin. So that's what Rodair will be doing during this time.
Okay.
Like I said, also tending to the wounded. But
Yeah.
so I'll be back.
Yep. As the natives are spilling out of that thing, I guess the ape who is over here, like, just kind of like eating, and he found some alcohol and stuff like that. He's seeing all the natives come out, and he just kind of like runs off over into here. And we see him, or I should say at least like, I don't know, I guess anybody that would have been looking, like Mo wouldn't have seen it because he like went in here, but yeah, maybe among Alicia, Smallleaf, and Rodair, you see him just like kind of come up to this tree over here, and like we know that he's in that tree, but we're not sure if like any of the natives saw him. So, yep. So, to not have me click and drag all of these natives, we just assume that all of the native bodies have been piled up here.
Yeah.
And then all the Pelor people are up by the river. So Aya, acting as the ever-faithful liaison of languages, tells us basically that when the people are ready, the size of this fire, like, people are putting more wood on it and stuff to increase kind of like the bonfire thing, that they basically, kind of practice cremation. So as the family members are like have said their goodbyes and stuff, they will like toss their body on the fire and stuff. So it's kind of like, it's not particularly great smell and sights and stuff going on there. So I don't know if anybody is, their character is particularly, not to say like sensitive to that or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of death and stuff, which is something that we've all seen here, and certainly before we've all killed.
Smallleaf is a hermit that lives in the woods, so he's used to setting things on fire.
Yeah, right. So, small animals. Yeah. So it's quite a scene. Yeah.
And this goat named George.
He has a goat.
Add a goat.
Smallleaf's lore doubled. But what they're planning to do with the bodies of the men in white is to take them to the other side of the bridge, basically, and just toss them
into the water.
Not into the water, but on the other side of like this creek river thing here, and basically just like leave it out for the as kind of like a tribute to the Panthers. Like, just let the animals take them. Like they don't.
That's fun.
They don't get buried or anything. Just like they get to feed the wildlife as a tribute. So I guess Aya would tell Rodair and Alicia that. So after the bodies have been piled up there, it's like, okay, well now we're gonna take them over there. And some of the, mainly like any of the warriors and stuff that are left, or any of the natives, will help with that as well. If they can. I mean, the bodies are pretty big relative to them, so it takes like 2 of the natives to carry, one, to drag one. So that is what goes on. I will say that entire process takes about an hour, so we can say that it is like midnight now. One other note I will say is that Yep. One other so I guess just like super quick summary. The dead natives are being piled at the central fire between the shaman hut and the elder hut to be cremated, so that is quite a sight, seeing a lot of bodies and stuff in there. The men in white are being taken across the river and just thrown into the woods loosely to feed like the panthers and other wildlife and stuff. But no like burial or anything like that. That whole process takes about an hour. One other thing, and this can kind of be like a decision point, but when the natives are coming out, they, upon seeing him that he's like out, they're basically like going up to him to try to restrain him. You know, they're like to bring him back to the prison. So I don't know if anybody wants to intervene with that, or like Ethan's not going to fight it, but
Yeah.
they're obviously trying to take him to the whatever his old spot.
So I guess Rodair's gonna kind of get Mo's attention and say, Mo, can you explain to them, how Ethan, when all the men in white came, how when he got loose from his prison, how he, fought against them too, and
yeah, so
fought valiantly, and
yeah, I forgot. Yeah, so Mo's up on top of the tower thing, so I guess you shout at him to come down. Yeah, and he's like, oh, right. Where's Aya? I need her. I need her to translate this horribly. The worse, the better. Yeah, so he comes down here, and Aya is here as well. And so, two of the natives are grabbing Ethan, and they start dragging him and stuff, and like Mo gets in front of him, and he's like, wait, hold on. Aya, here, I need you to tell them something, that Ethan here was actually, you've noticed that he's nice, right? And she just kind of like looks at Mo, like, a little bit of a question, like nods, like, yeah. And he's like, so basically, Ethan here was planted as an agent within the Men in White through an organization that I run, unrelated to anybody else here, but I personally run it. And then she's like still staring at him, Mo, like kind of confused. He's like, he was planted here. Basically, I taught Ethan everything that he knows about language and translation and stuff, and I told him to come here to this village to teach you guys common. And she's just like still staring at Mo, puzzled. And I'm like, uh-huh. So basically, that's why he seemed so nice, is because he's actually like a really nice, guy and stuff like that. And so he came here kind of against his will. He owed me a favor, so, I got him this job, and he was coming here to do translation and stuff. So that's why he seemed so nice, because he's like a pretty nice guy, and he didn't really know the other guys that he was working with. Not that I'm associated with them in any way, they were just, they were paying me so that I could pay off a debt for this other like organization that does stuff for people that live on islands and stuff, kind of like in your situation and stuff like that. And I was just like like dinner plate eyes at this point, like you're talking too fast, like what the hell. Yeah, and he's like, so basically, to wrap it up, Ethan here is with me, and you shouldn't imprison him, because I need to take him back to where he came from. So he is my responsibility. And I was like, okay. And then she just kind of like looks at the other two and just says that, I guess Small Leaf would understand this, but she just says like, he's going to take him captive, and we don't have to worry about him. And the natives are just like, okay, they shrug, and then they walk off. And I was like, oh, man, thanks for that. Yeah, and I was like, uh-huh, yeah, just walks off.
Like, nice work. That's better than anything I could have come up
like,
with.
Woo! Yeah, and Ethan's like, did you hire me? It's like, because that sounds strangely close to how I got this job.
Yeah. I didn't even know who my primary agent was.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's like, oh my god. Well, he's like, although I know that you weren't one of my professors. Yeah, so Ethan's like, oh yeah, thank you, both of you, for doing that. I was like, yeah, alright, anyway, goes back up.
Thanks. And hey, don't mention, like I said, you're good with us.
Yeah.
It's clear from your actions.
Yeah, so Ethan, well, join you guys in moving the men in white and stuff like that. Starting with the charred fighter. Although, yeah, there's not much left to him anyway. Yep, so all that happens. The hour goes on. I will say that it is now midnight. Or, like, midnight to 1 o'clock. Not that it really matters. And, I'm not going to move the natives and stuff like that. Just,
because they're just going to go back.
There's so many. Yeah, right? There's so many. Yeah, and they're going to come back. So now, oh, also, you might have been away, CJ, but the ape is over in this tree. After he saw the natives started spilling out of the thing, he just kind of, like, ran away, but we saw him go up into that tree. So he's just kind of, like, chilling there. I don't think, well, yeah. To our knowledge, nobody knows that he is, like, good, per se, or, like, on our side. But he's obviously acting within his own best interest. Although he did leave with a hunk of sea turtle meat. So we assume he's...
And now he's just sitting up in the tree.
Yeah, we assume that he's doing the gif of him in the bush eating.
Yeah.
So now...
I'll be right back.
Yep. Now, I guess, would be a good time to long rest. To recover spells and hit points as we take guard over the village. I don't know where everybody wants to sleep or take guard. Mo is going to stay up on top, of course. He obviously
I'm back.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Mo obviously didn't take any damage, so he is fine with taking, like, whatever the worst watch is. He doesn't need to sleep first. And then, I guess in the morning we will head towards the men in white.
So you said we're doing a long rest?
Yep, yeah. It's like midnight, 1 o'clock. We dealt with all the native stuff. They started, just as they're done doing their stuff, pouring back into the Darren's fortress. Once it gets to the point. Mo, it's assuming that we all communicate to each other at some point. Mo says how he will take first watch, or like the first 2 watches. He's didn't really have to exert himself, so he's not tired.
Yeah, Ridair,
I don't know where everybody else wants to sleep, if they are sleeping, but...
Ridair's going to. He needs to.
Yep.
Smallleaf is gonna find a tree over here.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, do you go to the ape's tree? Or... Okay. Yep, so Smallleaf heads north towards the bridge. Mo is on top of the fortress, just whatever the roof layer.
Yeah, Ridair's going to be in probably by the door just so he can speak the command word to open it and close it if needed.
Right. Are you outside or inside?
Inside.
Okay.
Yeah, Alicia will rest inside as well.
Okay. Like ground floor, probably. Seems like most of the people are on the ground floor, but...
If Ridair's on the ground floor, she'll stay on the second floor, just in case, like, Mo were to shout, she could, like, get up there faster, like, just division of our people a little bit.
Yeah, position optimization. Yep, okay, so 8 hours goes by. Smallleaf with passive perception and just checking stuff. You don't hear anything, you don't see anything. Mo, nothing out of the ordinary as well. The only thing that he sees, and possibly like Ridair that you would see, or I don't know if you like closed the door or what happened.
Yeah, I closed the door.
Yeah, right. So yeah, the only thing
I think there's arrow slits and stuff for the tower, but
right. Yeah, if you would ever peek out or something. The only thing that Mo sees is that the shamans left their hut and came over to the central fire, and they seem to be chanting around it. for a while. As it becomes morning, and if we're kind of talking to each other, Mo will say that they did that for probably about an hour. They were doing some type of like chant or some ritual thing, and then they all went back into the hut. So he's just like, yeah, they were like, all three of them in kind of like a triangle around the fire, and they were just like chanting and stuff. And he said he paid attention to him for like the first 3 minutes because it was interesting, and after that it was largely the same. So he's like, all right, whatever. Okay. But did notice that the chanting stopped after some amount of time. That in metagame is an hour. So it is now morning. Let's call it 7 to 8 a.m. And everybody is awake. I guess possibly somebody would have like some pet animals or something in here, and like if there was like a chicken or something, it would be kind of sounding that it's morning now. So Radair, if you wake up and you open up the door and stuff, people would start leaving.
Yep. So I'll open the door and continue to... I'll still probably be resting. Well, the villagers get up earlier and
Right.
than he did, but kind of be the last one up, so to speak. But I mean, he'll be at the door, just like he'll have opened it, and then just kind of resting there.
Yep. So everybody is fully healed, setting temp hit points to 18. If you have any spell slots, reset that. And
You said 18 temp hit points?
correct.
Yeah, it's really good to be back to full power.
So as it's morning, the natives are going out to their huts and doing stuff like that. We noticed that the like maybe veterans or whatever are out and about as well. They're no longer in... Oops. Is the wrong person. They're out and about now. They're no longer just, whatever. We see them outside of the Elder Tent, so we assume that it's like kind of no longer in lockdown or whatever mode. One other thing, is people are coming out. Alicia, I guess whenever you come out, the one shaman that you kind of like sat down with, the one that was across from you at the fire whenever you came inside of the tent, he is now standing outside, and like as everybody is pouring out, if you're coming out of the door, like he seems like he's just like standing there, but as you leave, he seems to like perk up, and he like motions for you to come over.
Okay, yeah. Alicia approaches.
Yeah. So the shaman motions to you and like gestures, I guess if Radair is there as well, and like I guess at this point, whatever Mo would come down to, like we're all kind of here, and it's like where did Smallleaf go to sleep? Like yeah, but the three of us are here, and the shaman, kind of like points at all of us and then motions towards the shaman hut, and then just like walks very slowly like, towards
All right.
towards the hut. He's shuffling over there. Mo's like, Smallleaf! Is it? Yeah, and like, whatever, like some kids are running by, and he's like, have you seen the Last Warrior? And like, he's doing like his hand at their height motion, and he's like, oh wait, all these people are that height too. Like, this isn't helping. Smallleaf! So by this point, Smallleaf, you're awake, and you hear Mo is, you possibly could have been awake for, 2 hours now, and you're just in the tree meditating and stuff.
Smallleaf backflips out of the tree next to Mo.
Okay. Yeah, so you just, I guess roll... Okay, yeah, you did already.
He's like, Smallleaf! He turns around, he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Smallleaf, yeah, and, like, it's almost like as if you, like, came down like rain. Like, you just came down at a straight angle or whatever, and you're like, yeah, what's up? Like, he's like, oh, shit! The elder pointed at us, or whatever, the shaman guy who's covered in paint, told us to go there. So we are doing that. Yeah, and you see the shaman's moving it, like, literally 1 mile per hour. Like, just very slowly. And one, like, walks around the hut, yeah, like, okay, yep.
Nice to see you now. Redair's gonna go around. He'll follow behind.
Whee! Jesus.
Yeah, Mo's, like, already standing there, and he's like, he offers out his hand. He's like, you know, need my help? And the shaman just, like, stares at him and smiles, and then looks back at the stairs and climbs up 1 step. Climbs up another step.
Oh, 2 more to go.
Uh-huh.
Now 1 more.
The shaman kind of, we notice maybe he's breathing a little heavily.
Now he's got to open the door.
Takes 1 more step to get up to the top step. Mo's like, almost there. And the shaman turns around. And then he sits down. Mo's like, oh my god. He's like, so, and I guess actually maybe this is where Mo tells everybody. He's like, so these guys last night spent a good long while, probably about whenever I was gonna try to, you know, get a little bit of sleep myself, and they started chanting and stuff. I don't know if you guys heard that, or if you know, me being outside heard it very clearly. Could not sleep, but they were chanting around the fire. I could not really tell what they were saying. I don't even think that they were speaking in their language, or if they were saying it very, very terribly. He's taking his grand old time, just kind of like he's doing right now. And yeah, and then the shaman, like, starts, you know, puts his hand down to the right of him and starts standing up. It's like, okay. Shaman turns around. And then he walks inside like normal. Like normal speed. And he's like, what? The hell? So, who wants to be first?
I mean, Alicia has no qualms about just walking straight in
Right.
to that invisible wall.
Yeah,
Head first.
right. Doosh. Again. Yeah. And the lead shaman laughs like,
And there's gonna be a giant deity standing there looking you in the face.
right.
They go for it every time.
Yeah. That was my pee-pee. I hang it from the ceiling. It is so big.
Jesus.
Yeah, so, yeah, we all pour inside, and the, you know, the guy that was being super slow is sitting on the... let me grab this little turn thingy. Let me adjust the zoom as well so I can actually click on these. Yep, so the other 2 are sitting around kind of like the central fire thing, and there's a... I don't know if it was there before, I think it was. There's actually a stone kind of pot that something is actually bubbling in. I don't know if we had seen that before, but we certainly see it now, and we smell it too. It smells honestly very horrible. We can tell that it is probably close to that alcohol, but it's like, yeah, it's like a disturbed version of the alcohol, like that smell.
What crawled in there and died in
Yeah,
addition
like,
to the
oh
alcohol.
my god, yeah, like, oh, did he take... And of course, like, we're maybe used to recently smelling, like, the dead bodies and stuff like that, so it's like a smell, so it's like almost as bad as that smell, but it's like it's an entirely different color of smell. You know, it's like, how is there another thing that smells like bad like that? Like, what? And, you know, the shaman is kind of like a smile on his face as he stirs it a little bit, and he reaches, you know, behind him and pulls out of a bag that he has there a cup, and he kind of dips it in the bubbling, smelly concoction that's going on there, and you know, takes a big sniff of it and sips a little bit of it and has absolutely no reaction whatsoever, and he passes it to his left, and this guy who's doing this is this one that's over here on the right. Oh, I guess actually I could change the music to daytime as well. So he passes it to his left, to that shaman, and, you know, he just like takes it. Both of the other two seem to have their head down. You know, they're like very peaceful. They don't seem to be quite in like the trance-like thing. They just seem to kind of be like very passive, not moving very much and stuff like that. So that one takes it, does the same thing, kind of waves it under his nose a little bit and sniffs it, and then sips it. And then Redair, you are the closest one to the left of him, and he offers you the cup as well.
Right, Redair's going to take it, and can I do some sort of skill check to see if I can maybe deduce, get a better idea of what's inside, like, part of this drink? Because, I assume it's partially the same, you know, similar to the drink they had before, but I'm like, what's different about it?
So the first thing is you need to roll a Constitution saving throw, as now that it is so close to you, the smell is nearly unbearable, and we will find out how unbearable it is. So, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you rolled a 1, but, you know, really you rolled a 10.
Yeah.
And I guess since we're all so close to you, we'll get your paladin bonus and stuff.
Yeah. Yep, you would.
Yep. Which is what, by the way? +4?
+5.
+5? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And that's with paladin.
Yep. So, with the 10, yeah, the smell is super bad, and you gag. You don't throw up, but you have like a physical reaction to it, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
oh, like, but it's just, yeah, like everybody else hears that, like, oh shit, like, what is that? Yeah. So if you want to roll, I don't know, like a nature check or investigation or something. Probably a nature. Yeah, just roll a nature.
Yeah, I'd say that's.
Okay.
What the heck?
So
1 to 20.
Yeah. So this. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just say.
I smell it and I'm like, oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe I'm smelling this again.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're like, oh my god. Oh man. Oh yeah. And you have a memory of. You know, you recognize that smell now that you got the full hit of it, and you have had this drink before, actually. This is, or something very similar to it.
Yeah.
Because of just how distinct, you know, it's like you somehow don't get the full smell until it's like physically under you and stuff.
It, like, triggered memories. Like,
yeah, exactly. You're like, yeah.
Like,
it's like the Ratatouille. Yeah, like you're sucked back to your childhood. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
So you've had this before, and it was one time when maybe you and some of the other guards and stuff were patrolling the nearby woods and stuff in Salt Marsh, maybe like to the. Well, of course, the compass directions there were screwed up. So the east, I guess, yeah, like east of town, like way that way, and one of the druids who was related to that druid that was in the town,
Yeah.
you had a mission where you had to deliver something between them, so you went there. And whenever you were there, it was very gracious like that, and he happened to have something very similar to this as well. And as good luck on your journey, back, and as thanks, he offered this drink to all of you. And you remember, like, one of the guys had it, and like whenever he smelled it, he just pushed it away. He was like, no, 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 no. And the druid took like great offense to that or whatever, but he still denied it. And then the druid basically kicked him out. Like, you have to leave now. Like, like if you don't drink this type of thing. But you were one of the ones that did drink it, and you at the time did pass your Constitution save. So it was really bad, but you weren't overwhelmed by the smell. But what you remember is that you felt like just like kind of lucky for the next day. Or
Like
you
good
felt that
fortune kind of thing.
yeah,
like,
you felt like you kind of you were just kind of like enhanced or something. Like you were just like kind of like happy and enhanced. Like there was nothing could really happen that would make you feel down like the rest of that day. And you distinctly remember it, not being like that. Like after you woke up the next day, you're just like, oh man, I don't feel like that anymore. You're like, damn.
yeah.
So you know that this
to-
is good. Like
Yeah.
you're
But
like,
gonna take a sip and
Yep. Yeah.
then
Yep. So you take
do
a sip.
kind of like
Yeah, and it.
pass under the nose thing, even though it smells terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Yeah. You're like, oh my god. Yeah. You're like, oh, but you know that. Yeah. You just have to tank the smell. You're like, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this has to be like. I wonder.
yeah.
So
But
it does
is, like,
taste. Yeah, it does taste different. Since I think you did try the alcohol, it has like a hint of that. You can tell that that's what's different, but most of it is the same.
Okay. Yeah, so Rhaenyra's gonna pass it to Alicia next, and
Yep.
and just say like,
All of that.
it
or something.
smells terrible, but I've had something like this before, and it's a drink of good fortune and,
Yeah.
and luck.
Yeah, and
So
you also
it would
know
be
that
a
like
great disservice to refuse it.
yeah, and you say as well like it takes like about a minute to kick in, but like you're like oh like you're getting kind of excited. You're like oh I can't
Yeah.
wait to feel like that again.
Yeah, so he's gonna pass it to Alicia.
All right, Constitution save.
Yep.
You get +5.
Oh, same thing. So he's like
Yeah,
he's
it's like all
passing.
one
Yeah.
way.
So Rhaenyra is passing it to Alicia, and he's like, warning, you think it smells bad, but whenever it gets close to you, it's really bad. And Alicia's like, okay, and holy shit, this is the worst thing that you've ever smelled in your
Well,
life.
Also, I technically have a 15 because that isn't counting Rhaenyra's.
Oh,
like-
okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorcerers have really high con, so that was
Yeah.
a 15.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you did technically pass. It's a 14. Yeah. So it's still the worst thing that you've ever smelled in your life. But yeah, you're just like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, you don't have like that jerk like whoa, like you were kicked. So, do you drink it?
Yeah. Yeah, big sip.
Okay. Big sip down.
Big sip and offer to Smallleaf.
Just watch like all of us roll ones on this.
Smallleaf,
Except
do you
Smallleaf
take
can't
it?
roll a 1, so
I can't roll a 1, so
yeah.
I
Except
roll an 8 though, so that's horrible.
It's a 13.
Yep, with the +5. So.
Yep. So a 13. So yeah. So unfortunately, that's not a 14. It's not so bad for you, but yeah. I mean, you're still kicked with that. Yeah, like you react to it, like you wanna be as calm as possible. So what I'll say is that you physically don't react to it, but you yourself know mentally that you just like you had to like tense up your body to not react if you didn't want to show that you were reacting to it. But you know that you're like, oh my god, like oh I don't know about this. Do you take a drink? And I will say, because you were with
Sure.
that druid and stuff, you've heard about this or tried it before as well. So like you've technically had this before, and potentially multiple times. So yeah, you're just like, oh man, it hits me every time. You know, like oh.
Don't disgrace Small Leaf's hermitage.
Yeah, right. So, yep. So you sip it, and then I guess you would pass it to Mo. Please, gods, be merciful. Oh, bitch!
The worst yet.
I'm the only one that didn't roll a 1.
I know.
Oh yeah, true.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, actually. So.
I mean, you get +5.
Yep. So Mo rolls an 8, and since his was, let's call it comically low, I am going to roll I'm gonna roll a dex save, and if it's less than 14, he's gonna drop it. Okay.
Well, you're +5, so.
Yeah. Right. Well. Yeah. True. Yeah. I guess actually, yeah. I forgot about the +5. So. Yeah. So it's
actually,
yeah.
I was gonna say like you actually could have, even if you rolled a 1, you still would have passed. So.
Yeah. So I'll just role play it out. So you, Small Leaf, hands Mo the cup, and it, he like acts like he's sniffing it, like he's like sniffing as it gets closer, but like it's not even under his nose yet, and he's like, holy shit, oh my god, and he like paces back over to this wall, and he's like, no, it can't, and he like looks at it a little bit, and he's like, oh god, oh, and he he has his head against the wall, and he's like, I just woke up, this is
Renee's like, it's a little late. Well, it's a little late for Small Leaf, Lisa, and myself, but I forgot, if you pinch your nose, you can't smell it.
He comes over to.
Pinch your nose, you can't smell it, but we're just giving you this info now.
He's holding it way.
I'm totally making that up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's like, it doesn't help. Nothing helps.
Makes it much worse, actually.
Yeah, like, yeah. He right. So he's holding it away from himself as far as he can, and like almost kind of like averting his eyes from it, kind of thing. But Alicia, he walks over to you, and he's like, "Can you do the kebab thing to this or something?" Like, oh my god.
If he does that, maybe Alicia would turn to Radair and be like, "Would that be considered disrespectful?"
DM, would that be disrespectful?
Yeah. Do I know? Roll a. Let's see here. Roll a. I don't know. What would be memory? Intelligence, I guess.
Yeah, just general intelligence.
Yeah. 15. You know that not drinking it is significantly worse than anything else that could happen.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So
Radair says,
so you're like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
just get him to drink
Yeah,
it. Whatever needs to happen, just have him drink it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure, it'd be better. He should really drink it. So, trust me, not drinking it is far worse. So, do your thing. Be subtle about it, maybe, but go ahead and cast it.
Yeah. So, prestidigitation. Because we all had to drink it, Alicia's only going to make it taste half as bad.
Okay.
As it did before.
Yeah. Okay. So is there like do you do, I don't know, whatever, can you choose a flavor? I'm trying to see.
You can chill, warm up, or flavor.
No, come on, you have to upcast it to a first level spell to do that. Have control over, let it
chill, warm, or flavor up. So it's whatever. I would like to flavor down halfway, but if I have to flavor up,
flavor down.
Yeah. You enhance its flavor.
Makes it stronger.
Actually, well, flavor. Okay. The up to the up is up to 1 cubic. Okay.
Yeah.
You chill or flavor up.
Okay. Yeah. So you Yeah, it's so potent that it would take 2 castings, so you do 1 cast of it. You don't know that, but
Yeah.
so you do it, and yeah, you flavor it with the kebab flavor or something, I guess, unless you want to choose otherwise. But
Is it purple? The drink.
it could be now if you want it. I'll let that happen too.
It's purple and just tastes like a cheap wine.
Okay, yeah. So he, CJ, what were the
Pinch your
two?
nose.
No, well, what were the 2 taverns in? One was like the something basket, wasn't it?
The wicker goat.
Yeah, the Wicker Goat.
I forget the other one.
Yeah. So he,
So we didn't go there as much.
yeah, Mo now like goes to smell it, and he's like, oh, this smells like some of the stuff that I used to take from the expired stuff from the Wicker Goat or whatever. And he's like, okay, here we go, and he like sips it.
Why
and-
was Mo taking expired things from the Wicker Goat?
Hey,
That's a smart idea.
hey,
He spent a lot of time on the docks.
yeah, listen. I'm not saying that I did it. I'm just saying that I drank it. Somebody else was the one that took it, unbeknownst to the owners. Wasn't kept properly, whatever happened. Yeah, so Mo is able to down it, but yeah, he just has memories of that. Like, oh god, yeah, this is that, the dockside grunge wine that's actually the stolen stuff from.
Dockside grunge.
Yeah, like. So he passes it to his left and still keeps it away from him. He's like, and hands it to that shaman, and that shaman, obviously is just kind of like at this point just staring at Mo, like, why are you making a big circus of this? And just like drinks it, and then hands the cup back to the central shaman, who just pours like any that was left back into the pot, and then moves the cup on the side, and he just gestures his hands up and generally towards the door, and has a smile on his face, like he's like, thank you, goodbye.
Renner's kind of taken back a bit because he's like, oh, I thought there was going to be more to that.
Yeah, like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, Renner's, after kind of shrugging off that few moments of like, oh, I thought there was going to be more to that.
Right.
Is going to bow and move out of the hut.
So as we come out of the hut, and I don't know if I guess maybe we like talk amongst ourselves, like, so I guess yeah, I mean, like, whatever, like Mo will just say like, okay, he's clearly disgusted look on his face. He's like, okay, now that that's over with, how about we eat some actual food, and then wherever the ape went to, I guess hopefully he didn't run away or something. I haven't seen him, but we start our journey.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do that. Radair's like, yeah, and I'm also gonna leave the Dairn's instant fortress with the villagers and teach them the command word so they can use it, and they'll need the protection more than we will, and plus we'll be back, so it'll see better use here.
Yeah. So as we just were talking right there, we all start to feel the effects of the drink that we just had, and basically in metagame knowledge, we all gain 2 inspiration dice. So I don't think there's a way to like mark multiple, but if we want to mark that somehow, we all gain 2 inspiration.
Okay.
We could mark it in our sheet and then put like a symbol on ourselves.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like that we're currently buffed or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put mine in my like bio area, basically.
Right.
Yep. Or if you have like, I had a spare resource
little-
box.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. yeah.
Yeah, which you could add another one of those, but I have an even number, so I don't want like a whole nother row.
Yeah,
I have an
yeah. I
odds
had one
man.
extra, so I was
Yeah.
like, I'll just throw it in there.
Mine is, yep. I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, I guess I might as well.
I'm gonna use the inspiration toggle for the one, and then put a single resource of inspiration in the other one to denote that it's the extra one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna kind of regroup, before we
Yeah, we
before
can,
we
like, come over here or whatever.
yeah, so I guess if we wanted to eat before we left, of course, like we have
Yep.
rations, but Alicia could always just do a quick food and water, and we're set for 24 hours.
Yep.
It's up to if everybody thinks like
Sure.
like oh, let's eat a big breakfast, and it's 45 pounds of food, like
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, you could have kind of, if you do that, I mean, that would, there's certainly less than that amount of natives now, so yeah, if you want to make that as kind of like a, whatever, like a meal for everybody type of thing. If
Yeah,
you,
I'm sure they have some food remaining around that, if there wasn't enough or just
Yeah.
barely not enough, we could add to that and there'd be plenty.
Yeah, there's alcohol and stuff that they're drinking already. Just
yeah.
like
So
whatever.
Yeah, that'd be
just
good.
just like last time, create food and water, shawarma.
Yep. Yeah, so
Shawarma
we
feast.
we have like a table or something from the festival, that was brought out to have stuff on it. So we bring it here, just in this general area, and fill it up with exactly the almond ket shawarma special.
And if Ethan hasn't like seen us, because I don't think he like obviously he wasn't participating in the other thing, like
Right.
Elise would go and get him if he doesn't find his way here.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
dude, you eat.
Yeah. Ethan, he was probably, if anything, I would say that he probably felt uncomfortable being in the fortress with everybody, so he was just like in kind of like a tent or just like leaning on his own somewhere. So, but yeah, like once everybody starts waking up and starts being busy and stuff, he comes over here, and he does ask of us. He says, do any of you have a change of clothes? I feel bad wearing these. I don't want to. I basically don't want to wear these anymore. Like I don't want to associate myself with the the clerics of Pelor anymore. He's like he feels out of place being in the village, being dressed in white. Like it's kind of bad.
Yeah. Looking through Radair's inventory, I have traveler's clothes, but that's like his clothes.
Alicia has common clothes along with her vestments, so I guess she would offer the common clothes if like it appears that it would fit him. I don't know how big he is.
Yeah, he's just like normal human. Yeah. I mean, like Mo has common clothes as well, but he likes to use that stuff for the disguise kit. So yeah, Felicia, if you wanna remove the common clothes, he'll take that and he'll just like go over to a tent or whatever, and he'll change. And
Yeah, because Alicia has never worn those. It's always been vestments or armor, so
yeah,
they're probably just brand new.
just say like let's tint him some color, like blue. So now he's the man in blue. No. The blue men are even worse.
The Blue Man Group.
Yeah. Yeah, so he comes back and he's yep, and he's like, "Oh, thank you," and just takes part of the breakfast and stuff like everybody else. We notice that one of the veterans or Aya or natives or whoever takes food into the elder tent and takes food over to the shamans and stuff. It just seems like they never really leave. They're tense. I don't know if anybody wants to kind of break off and go speak with the ape, or if we want to just try to go, assuming he's still in the tree, for those of us that knows that he's there, going there and doing that. Yeah, like I don't know if while you're eating, if you're just sitting and socializing, or what's going on. I don't know what people want to do. It's
I
kind
think
of like
Alicia,
our last moment in the village, basically.
maybe like while everybody's getting their food, and yeah, Alicia like sets up the table and does it. She'll bring like some maybe down to like the base of the tree if she knows like the ape was there last, and just like leave it and walk away. Like she's not looking for him or anything, just kind of like
Yeah, like know that he's in that direction, maybe, or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just
As you make your way back to the group, you peer back behind you and you see a familiar git.
Yeah.
As he watches you making your way back.
Yeah. As you're walking away, you see that. Yeah, like.
Peer behind you. So perfect.
Yep. So that definitely happened. Yeah, you set it there, and you like look around. You're like, I don't see him or whatever. And you come down. You hear like a little snap, and you see that like whatever food you set there is gone, but you see him in the bush eating like that. Yeah. Like.
Also, it might go without saying, but at some point between like the end of the day yesterday and now, Alicia told Mo and Redair basically what happened with the elders.
Yes. Right. Yep.
Yeah, so that would have been relayed, just so we're clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that everybody knows. Got it. Yeah, so everybody eats and stuff like that. Mo is... I don't know. I guess he's just like looking at his pack, going through everything again. He figures, he knows that, like we've been... Well, aside from like the attack and everything that happened, this being here at this village was a nice break from being in the jungle, but we're kind of gonna be going back into the wilderness again here, so he's like taking inventory of everything that he has. He has the bag of holding full of the daggers and stuff. There's 2 potions of healing still somehow. Let me see what's in the bag of holding. Right, the rope of climbing, daggers. I have something here, 6 pressure capsules. I don't know what that means.
Oh, that was Salt Marsh. It was at the one island where we encountered Ned again and the zombie, like
we defended the
zombies,
Abbey place or whatever, or the house. Yep.
Yeah, we got it. It was in the one hidden compartment. Hold on, I'll get the book and look up what those did, because I think...
Yeah, I was like, is that like a pill or something, or what is that?
Yeah, they do something weird that have a very specific use.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look that up here.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. The folding boat, fishing nets, shitload of rope, movable rod, 12 plus 2 bolts. Sounds like something he took off of Ned or something.
Yeah. Oh, you have an immovable rod. How many of those do you have?
Just one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I got that at the same time as the rope of climbing, because he saw some cheesing going on there.
I was gonna say, immovable rods are fun when you have 2 of them, because
yeah.
you can basically make like an infinite ladder. Like,
yep. As long as you can hang yourself, yeah. Like if you can hold onto a ledge forever, then just raise your hand a little bit, click it. Raise your other hand a little bit, click it.
Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna grab the book.
Yep, that's fine.
1 sec.
Yeah, so that's what Moses is taking inventory of his stuff, as I am looking at physically his inventory again to remember what the hell I have. Smalley, for you doing anything special?
Um, no.
Okay.
Considering keeping an inventory slot of bananas, but I'm unsure at this time.
Okay. It would not be hard to get them, so if you would like that, just do it. You see stated. And then I guess whatever Redair wants to do is the last thing. I guess the assumption is that Ethan is going to go with us, just because whatever that whole like he's our responsibility now, and he might be able to help us like once we get to the white men or the men in white.
Does he have a weapon of any kind? Like, could we like have taken some of the weapons off of the mercenary Pelor people and given it to Ethan?
Yeah, we could do that, and certainly we would have like kind of piled their weapons and stuff, and because it was just like clubs and maces and stuff, yeah, like the villagers easily would have taken that, but like yeah, it would have been no issue to arm him with one of them. So yeah, I guess if we get like one of the maces because they're better, yep, we can give him. Ethan has no armor on whatsoever. He has just the clothes on his back. He had no possessions at all. All of them were, you know, taken, destroyed, scattered, whatever, whenever he was taken prisoner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we see
don't
it
think we have
spare
any
arm.
spares.
Yep. So just say like.
Let's see if I even have anything that would be like worth passing on to him just to give him something, you know. Actually, does he is he can he wear full plate armor?
He is not strong enough.
Okay, because I was gonna say, as a draconic sorcerer, I if I'm not wearing armor, I have an AC of 13, like plus dex.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I could technically, like I if you add the dex I have from the one magic item, it would be like that would I could still have pretty good AC even if I wasn't wearing armor.
Yeah.
So that'd be,
It.
good use if he could wear it.
Yeah. If there was a description of what Ethan was, he is basically just the scholar background. He's not even like leveled in any class. Like
Yeah.
he's not like a level one
Commoner with
cleric or
scholar
wizard.
background.
Yeah. So he's like certainly more intelligent than normal and stuff, and like yeah, like he has some skills and stuff trained. But yeah, he's an enhanced commoner.
Hmm. Let's see. Um, I guess if he's at least like just again to give him something, because if we're gonna get into combat or something,
Right.
don't want him like going with no armor or anything other than a club is kind of like. I mean, I guess it depends. Like, if we're gonna be doing the fighting, like if he's just gonna hang back, maybe like that's fine too. Like, he doesn't have to fight.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we'll see. I could always lend him my shield. That's at least 4 AC.
Yeah. I guess the natives would have probably shields and stuff, and I mean they would have certainly they lost a lot of people, so yeah, he could have a wooden shield as well. So I'll just add that.
Yeah. And I mean, if we think it would help, because I have a +2 shield, which that's +4 AC versus whatever a wooden shield gives.
Yeah. I
It's
think
like I mean, my
yeah.
AC is so high that I could afford to drop a couple points and
Yeah, I think shields are just +2, so that certainly
yeah,
helps him a lot. But yep.
yeah. So Redair will give him his
Oh,
+2
actually,
shield.
you know what? We could Oh, I was just thinking. I guess he could wear the common clothes, but we could. But they're. Oh, yeah. Never mind. I was gonna say we could dress him in the padded armor from the fighters, but it's white, so it's like.
Yeah,
Yeah, never
and
mind.
Shard.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Two. But like any of the other dead ones that died.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can I fix that with prestidigitation?
I was just thinking about that. I was like, is there color?
Yeah, you
It
can
says
clean it
you
off.
make a color appear on an object for 1 hour, so it's not permanent, but yeah, it would only be temporary. I mean, I guess you could keep casting it on him or whatever, but
What do you mean I'm proficient in clothes dyeing? It's my hidden
yeah,
proficiency.
yeah. I mean, there would certainly be dye and stuff here. You know, like they had the carpets and the rugs and stuff. So I guess if we would want to like ask, you know, somebody like ask Aya or ask one of the natives, like, hey, could we dye padded armor? So yeah, if somebody wants to do that.
I think from Alicia's perspective, it's like that's kind of his choice. Like if he's not a warrior, she doesn't want to like make him a warrior. Like,
Yeah,
that kind of
right.
thing. Like,
Yeah. He's like, yeah, that's true. I mean, like that's kind of whatever. That's like meta knowledge. Yeah, like oh, they had padded armor. Yeah, like
Yeah.
to him, he's like, does that even do anything for you? Like,
yeah, I guess maybe from like Alicia's standpoint, it's like when she started the adventure, she was just in like robes. It's like what?
Yeah.
They're fine.
Well, hey.
So Radar's gonna hold on to his shield for now, but like if just in, you know, because he's not sure what we're getting into, but if it's one of those things where it's like, hey, it makes more sense for him to have a magic shield for better defense, like
Yeah.
consider that. But
I mean, if push comes to shove, he can become a river croc. Like,
yeah, true.
True.
And honestly, that's probably more
God.
better safety than.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, hello, polymorph target. My name's Ethan.
Oh, geez, Alicia, like could just polymorph the ape and him, like.
Yeah.
And now it's like we get the best of both worlds because, like,
Yeah.
granted, we don't get that HP buffer, but now we have our own characters.
Our class abilities, yeah, plus.
Yeah, but we get two river crocs.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Hold on, I gotta balance something real quick. I'll be back.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Now that's a again a kind of a I don't want to say game breaking because it's really not, like, because again you can just, you know, throw in some more enemies or buff them up a little bit, but it's just like
Yeah.
being able to twin polymorph and just be like, oh yeah, two of our NPCs that aren't fighters at all. Well, I'm sure the ape is probably a little more decent, capable, but like, yeah, you could just say, hey, we have a commoner with us anytime a fight breaks out, dual polymorph, like, oh.
turn them into just the giant terror apes again. Just like, haha,
Yeah.
terror apes as
Yeah,
well.
the ape's like, not again. She's experimenting on me.
So the pressure capsules, by the way, are I don't know if we ever identified these, but I'm sure like it's been enough time where we would have done this eventually.
Yeah.
And figured out what they did.
Downtime.
But you basically you eat one and then it lets you ignore the effects of swimming at depths greater than, well, it says that when swimming at depths greater than 100 feet, which is kind of weird. Like,
Yeah.
what happens if you're above 100 feet? You have to start swimming normally, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
but basically you can move around underwater. Like, you basically can move around like normal.
For what time?
Yeah, how long does it last? A creature who consumes it ignores the effects of swimming at depths greater than 100 feet. It doesn't say how long it lasts.
It's forever.
Yeah, it's forever. It rules as written. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
It just says when you consume it, you ignore it. So eat one and it's forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably just say it's like until you rest. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
I'll just say. I don't know.
but
I'll
it
just,
doesn't say.
Yeah.
Crawford, we need a rule
Crawford! Yeah.
clarification.
I'll just say, sure, 8 hours. Yeah, it's like, oh, here's pressure capsules where you can withstand depths lower than 100. Like, where was the rule that said you couldn't before? Like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, so it's basically a if you want to do underwater exploration
Yeah.
and not even be like basically treat it like you're on land,
Yeah.
you can do it.
Methods to achieve that.
So that's pretty cool, but
Yeah.
probably won't be I mean unless we engage in any sort of underwater combat again,
Yep.
probably not going to be too helpful, but you never know.
Okay, so any any last words? I guess we.
Like I said, only other thing is, leaving the fortress in their hands and instructing them on how to use it.
Yeah.
Because they can open and close you know the door. Um, and then Redair does say like, hey, look, if not that I want you to necessarily do this, but if you need to shrink it back down to size and move it somewhere, move, in worst case scenario, here's how
Mm-hmm.
you do that. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say that
just
you.
don't eat it and like,
Yeah. Like, don't like put it on your backpack and then use it. Like,
yeah,
have it expand on somebody.
yeah. Careful when you do this.
Yeah. So I'll say that you instruct Aya and the 3 native veterans.
Yeah, not everybody needs to know.
Right. And right, yeah, like some kid gets it and he's like, open, close, like stop, like go away. Yeah, so you instruct them and yep, they handle that.
I'm gonna be a second, but keep going.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess we all head over here. Small Leaf, I guess. Do you want to move these guys? Small Leaf, if you want to, I don't know if you want to be the one to get the ape to come down from his hidey hole.
Smalley gets a banana and then makes a noise.
Yeah. He knows in the ancient monkey ways. He leaps down and did you like throw it on the ground or something or like
No, I hold it.
okay. Yeah, so he comes down and he has a banana of his own and he shows you it and like wiggles it and like nods like yep. like that that's the signal to come down. So he, communicates with you, Small Leaf, and I guess whatever, like you're down here. He communicates with you and says, like, are we going to the to their camp now?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Oh, and where? Oh, okay. There's Ethan.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the blue is. I'll fix him. I'll probably get him like a different model or something, but yeah, because he was just kind of like slightly different man in white before. Yeah. So everybody heads east out of the village, heading towards the way that the ape kind of had his rampage. And I think just to end it on a clean chapter, that is where we will end it tonight as well. So the next goal is to head to the camp, the men in white. We have Ethan, the ape. The village, has a fortress now. They should be in good hands. Certainly, if we're taking the path that the ape took to come here, it's like it would be assumed if more men in white were coming, we will come across their trail and like kind of stop them. So hopefully they're safe there. Otherwise, the village seems pretty content on their own. Obviously, they suffered a huge loss during the attack, but they will manage as they have managed losing their home and everything else before. And with that, I believe the next level threshold is 140,000, and after defending and doing everything like that, we can set our XPs to that amount. So we level up
Yay.
to level 14.
Level 14. I think I'm taking another level in Silver Surfer.
I think I'll do